Credit cards. There are a few ways to authorize credit cards on Positouch. Remember, you must have the check printed before you can take payment. One way is by using the Take Payment shortcut from the table layout screen. At the bottom left, you'll see the Take Payment button. Select it and you'll see a screen with all printed checks. Remember that if you don't see anything listed in this screen, doesn't mean that you don't have checks ready to pay, it just means that they have not yet been printed. Select the desired check, and you now have three options: Take Payment, CC Off, and Reprint. Selecting Take Payment will allow you to close it to cash, get to the CC Off screen, or cancel. Selecting CC Off takes you directly to the CC Off screen where you will swipe the credit card. Selecting Reprint will print a copy of the guest check. So to authorize a credit card, choose CC Off. Once on the CC Off screen, remember to verify you're on the correct check by looking in the upper left corner for the table number and the check number and the check amount. To authorize the entire check to one credit card, just swipe the credit card. Once you see the card number and expiration date displayed, touch Enter. The credit card receipts will print. Once the guest has signed and totaled the credit card receipt, you can now close the check. Log in and then select Take Payment. Select the check from the left and then touch Take Payment on the right. You're now on the Take Payment screen. Remember to look at the white status bar at the top of the screen. You'll see that you're on the right screen and the check number is displayed. Make sure you're taking payment on the correct credit card by verifying the last four digits displayed under the card type to the last four digits printed on the credit card slip. Touch the card type in the white box so that it is highlighted in aqua. Notice that there is now a red Enter Tip button. Touch Enter Tip. When you do this, notice the tip field above is now red. Enter the tip the guest wrote in on the slip. Touch Enter. Notice the total amount has changed to include the tip. To make a correction to the tip at this point, touch Delete at the bottom of the screen and repeat the steps of highlighting the card type, touching Enter, and re-entering the amount. If the amount is correct, touch the red Enter button again. Remember, anytime you have successfully closed a check, you see a large red box that says Touch OK to complete. Touch OK and the check is now closed. Other ways to get to the CC Off screen are from the Reopen Check screen. Touch Reopen Check, highlight a check, and notice you have a CC Off button on the right. Or, if you just reopen the check, go to Review Order, notice there is also a CC Off button here. Another way is to just swipe the credit card while you're in the order screen. It will automatically take you to the CC Off screen to complete the authorization. Paying out partial amounts. If a guest only wants to pay part of the check total with a credit card, follow the steps as before and then use the keypad to enter the amount after swiping the credit card. Notice that the amount to be authorized will show in the box at the top. Always verify the last 4 digits of the card and the amount. If the balance is to be paid by cash, touch Return and then Quit. Once the guest has signed and totaled the credit card slip, reopen the check, touch Review Order, and then choose Print Pay. Notice the Visa payment is displayed on the check. Highlight the card type, touch Enter Tip, touch Enter. If the remaining amount is to be paid in cash, notice you already have a cash button on the upper right. It fills in the payment area, and just touch Enter to accept, and touch OK to complete. Partial amounts, 2 credit cards. Guests may ask to split the check among 2 or more credit cards. If they're actually asking for separate checks, each guest paying for what they ordered, then just do the separate check function and give each guest their own check and proceed to handle each credit card individually. If, however, they wish to just split the payment evenly between 2 cards or partially between 2 cards, follow these steps. Log in, go to Take Payment, select the check, select CC Off. Remember, whenever you're on the credit card authorization screen, always check that you're on the right table, the right check number for the right amount. Swipe the first credit card. If the guests want to split the check evenly in 2 or 3 or 4, you can use the Divide By buttons down the right-hand side of the screen. To enter a partial amount, enter the amount, touch Enter. Notice the card will display at the top the card number and the amount. You're now ready to swipe the next card. Notice the second card is displayed with the amount and the card number. Again, if the remaining balance in this example is going to be paid to cash, you would just touch Return, and both sets of credit card vouchers will print. Once the guests have signed both receipts, you can close the check. Go to the Take Payment screen, select the check, highlight Take Payment. Here you see both credit card amounts and the remaining cash balance. Highlight the first check, enter the tip for that check. Again, remember to verify the last 4 digits of the card to the receipt to make sure you're entering the right tip for this card number. Select the next card, touch Enter Tip, enter the tip amount, touch Enter. Verify that the balances for each credit card are correct. For the remaining cash balance, touch the Cash button. That automatically fills in cash as the payment type and press Enter. Touch OK to complete. Credit card errors. It is extremely important and your responsibility to handle all guests' credit cards with care. Swiping a guest's card on the wrong check for the wrong amount, for example, can be a costly mistake for the guest and for the restaurant. Swiping a credit card on a check for $200 when it was supposed to be swiped for a $50 check creates a hold on the guest's credit line or bank balance for the full amount of $200. Reswipe the card on the correct check for $50, and now $250 is being held on their account. When this happens with a guest's debit card, for example, it can cause them to be overdrawn, bounce payments, and incur fees. The guest calls the restaurant manager, and as a company, we reimburse the guest for these fees. Even though we ultimately only charge the guest the appropriate $50, the overauthorization for $200 was held as a pending charge and affected their available credit or account balance. Even though the guest had a wonderful dining experience, their last memory of the visit to their restaurant was that they were overcharged temporarily on their credit card. If you do swipe a card on the wrong check in error, get a manager If you do swipe a card on the wrong check, get a manager to void the authorization and re-swipe on the correct